Ladies and gentlemen, how you all doing? This is Common Work.
This is Rangru, low.
And folks, we are back for another monthly tournament. Today we are on Ostrowno, and Rang, who's coming to the fray, and what are they bringing to it?
Well, on left-hand side in blue, we have DarkNeutron playing 78th Sturm Maverick income, and on the right-hand side in red, we have PrestorJohn playing 29th Tankovy, also with a Maverick income.
You know, we've seen PrestorJohn often enough. I kind of wonder if he actually is, in fact, Ethiopian. That'd be kind of cool.
Or Presta.
Oh, exactly, or a Prester, for that matter.
Yeah, I hope DarkNeutron, he's a neutron.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, not like a light neutron, that would really suck.
Wow, are you actually being, like, colorist towards your neutrons?
Yes. You know, the light runs are a bit too bright for me.
That's true.
I'm a bit more pessimistic.
Indulge your dark side, I get it.
Yeah.
But here we are, we have ourselves the opening kind of crushing on through here. Just a huge swath of material coming up the center. An Automachiki span with stroke keys just like going ham up the middle.
Yeah, really on a map, like on this map, you really have to go ham for that center forest. It is such a key pivotal location to actually get anywhere, especially for the player on the right hand side, which is John in this case. Is if you can't control that forest, it really deters your ability to control the northern town and the central hill.
That's true, and of course he who controls the forest controls the map, as you just said. And judging by what's being thrown in here, I can't help but feel that it's going to be a very, very red Christmas.
Yeah, same time, it was 78th Sturm, and they have some great infantry, of course, the OG OP infantry division. So we'll have to see how well those Sturm shooters can shoot.
Well, I can tell you right now, it's kind of funny that just the amount of firepower happening there literally cut down a tree. I had a tree just fall down over top of the screen.
They definitely heard ya.
Well, I mean, and look at it here. Had the Sturm Schützen been able to maybe body block for those pioneers or Flammenwerfer coming in here, they've probably been a little bit better for them. Unfortunately, not going to be the case, and indeed a Cobra is going to come in as well and just shellac whatever remains.
Yeah, what a extremely effective push there for Presta. Just body slamming the German forces in the forest, and that's going to be such a huge boon for him. Because once you capture the forest from his side, it's pretty hard to lose it. Slap some anti-tank guns in there, and you can just call it a day.
Well, he's not doing that just yet, it looks like. He does have a couple of 45s. He's got a 76 just to the east. So not quite yet engaging that sincerely, but I'm sure we can see it again very soon. The Cobra just continues to linger. Yes, sir? Mm-hmm.
I also find it funny PO2 has not been shot down there. He's just flying around German lines willy-nilly.
Yeah, but I guess it's one of those things, like you said, you're probably far more likely to be seeing that infantry to more easily support the front lines as opposed to maybe going a little bit more unnecessary by getting those anti-air positions.
Yeah, his PO2 is getting some very good reconnaissance on the upcoming reinforcements. Yeah, we've just seen a bunch of infantry being brought in, but with the Su-57 now in location and all the infantry, or Russian infantry in this case, I don't feel like he's going to be, has much of a chance of getting back into that forest. Probably best bet is to try to get back at Northern Town for DarkNeutron and push along the central hill.
Well, here's the thing, too, is that the northern sector really is DarkNeutron's area to lose. If you want to remember, this particular map, as you can see here in the minimap, obviously, does not give you a lot of easy reinforcement points to the right-hand side for that northern. So right now, he might have lost the forest, but he controls the majority of the flags.
Yeah, the road network in Eastern Europe is not exactly great, and Eugene tend to has a fondness of following the maps to the letter. Honestly, just a good road, like another road for right-hand side cutting through open field would make a huge difference in map balance.
Forgive me, I'm just fascinated by the fact that we have this national one here in the meantime.
Nigel.
Yeah, exactly. So Ludwig Nigel over here is going to be engaging those rinky-dink PBIs, but I can't help but feel he's going to get owned here by this 45 mil that's just kind of like slinking forwards.
Yeah, I give him like a few minutes before he goes down, especially with such light armor. It's a pretty good map for Nashorn. There's a lot of long-range, open ground areas. So if he can just stay at long range, he'll be fine, but I'm really betting the Cobra's just going to come in and ruin his day.
Well, there's also that 45 mil that is going to... Yep.
Yep. Yep.
And unfortunately, that IG-33 doesn't get that HE shell off soon enough. Of course, he does do that, and now the 45mm, it's not even a smoking crater. That thing's been atomized.
Yeah, and the second one is going to have a rather nasty day too. Oh, not that bad, just a little bit of a concussion.
Yeah, I would say there's some shell shock that's happening there, more than anything else.
But DarkNeutron is doing good. He's about to secure the central hill of his Sturm Shooter Big Leap Pioneer post. He has Northern Town under control, so he will get at 14-10. Maybe he could get a 15-9, potentially, but I feel like he can just keep a steady +1 point advantage. Both sides have same income, so neither side is, I mean, DarkNeutron can essentially play for time, is what I'm trying to say.
And that's a worthwhile thing to be trying to say. However, I will say that central position is not going to be held for very long. There's 6 squads going the other direction here.
Yeah.
And as good as that murder might be, I'm not sure he's really wanted to give himself up for the cause. I'm also seeing that IG-33 is using those new mole shells. So he just kind of continues to tunnel on through the ground, just exploding at the appropriate locations here.
Oh yeah, I just saw it. Wow.
That
German Wunderwaffen, right?
I was just gonna say that's a Wunderwaffen moment.
God, if they would have just, they could just shoot instead of trying to shoot missiles over the channel, they could have just shot artillery guns underneath it. Like,
well,
they would have run the war.
Attack of the Moldman kind of idea. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
But here we go. We're going to see the Strelky DPs moving into position as well as the Strelky SVTs. And these SVTs may not have been as voluptuously good as they used to be, but they are still pretty darn strong.
Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be more than enough infantry to deal with that small little German force in the center.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The Schützen are going to attempt some loose defense, but loose defense is all they're going to be able to manage.
Yeah, I mean, the Big Leap Pioneers are also out of MG ammo, so not the best situation yet at all. But even then, I mean, DarkNeutron still is going to be, curing the point lead, so to speak. And if as long as he controls that +1, he'd be good to go.
Well, the funny thing is that he's a loses flag now. If he had anything in terms of artillery, this entire infantry push is dead.
Yeah, just a good old 1 or 2 mortars, and yeah, I'd be all gone. Completely and utterly suppressed. Even just a tank.
Exactly.
But there's enough anti-tank rifles to crit it.
No, but at range, though, at least. So again, remember, the range of the anti-tank rifle is, as we all know, 400 meters. So I was pulling up over my end for the good people at home so they could see that I wasn't entirely incorrect on that one. But the 400 meters is still a hefty amount of territory, so if you have your own guys getting just torn to shreds, it's an opportunity.
Yeah. I think DarkNeutron definitely needs to just try to play the best on the hill, because it's really the main point of contention he has any chance of actually just contesting on. Like, moving up the infantry, try to, just buy time on the hill, and heck, if it works out really well for him and he manages to completely secure the hill, you can actually start putting some decent pressure into the central, northern forest.
And that's the thing, isn't it? Is that this doesn't have the standard town grind, but I almost find myself being drawn into this particular sector of the battlefield consistently.
Yeah, we usually don't have, a map like this where you have the, cool central hill fight here.
It's a little bit different. Kind of nice. Mm-hmm. Especially when the line of sight actually works for those different plateaus, kind of unlike SD44. I still shudder about those days.
To be fair, in SD44, there was 2 hills in the entirety of France, apparently, or northern France.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's the green fields of France. It's not the green mountains of France. That's Vermont. The IG-33 and the 88 are just starting to pound that forest, though, and those guys... Ooh. Yowza, how many IG-33s does he... He's got 2, but it feels like he's got way more than that.
Yeah, he's using them quite effectively, and he definitely needs it, because, 78th Sturm doesn't have the best fire support vehicles. The Nationals are great anti-tank, and the Stugs are alright, but it's not like you have, cheap tank spam or light vehicle spam. So those IGs are incredibly important to provide a bit of extra oomph behind an infantry push.
You know, like that stroke ATP that just got stunned up, you know what I'm stunned by? The lack of Soviet armor.
Honestly, yeah, it's his 29th Tank Corps. Like, he's been using the Su-57s early on, he's got like a T-3045 out, but he has just been aircraft, anti-tank, and infantry spam. It's quite interesting. Not even really in the IS-2s, which is one of the, core strengths, 29th.
And watch as the Stormschützen will go over here into the central forest. The Schützen outside of it are going to go down pretty quickly, but all of the artillery fire, I think he actually might be able to take back this forest. Not instantly.
That Sturmschützen is being able to fight them one-on-one, so he definitely has a good chance of moping around the forest and knocking everybody out.
Exactly. I'm surprised by that. I mean, down south we do see a rather tentative push to Automachiki squads, but there are Schützen over there who will be able to start to put fire on them within, another 100 meters.
Yeah.
And he's also being seen by the BF-09.
Strafing him in an open field, forcing him out, and then the Schützen is... shooting him.
Oh my gosh.
I guess the MG42 is technically a Schützen.
Oh, that is many Schützen right there. That is one man firing many Schützens.
Yeah. I do like that PTRS. I hope he gets some, sneaky BS kill on a Nash one.
And that will happen. That will. Now, I keep wanting to see some tube artillery, but we're not going to see it for a while.
Look in the center.
Yeah.
We don't have tube artillery, but we have a lot of direct fire guns. I guess he's trying to out-IG the IG.
The IG, the OG?
Yeah.
So we have all the 76-2s there. We have Superiors galore below. Like, this is an absurd buildup of force.
Yeah.
And still, I don't know if that's going to be enough.
He's not even putting them on the hill directly. He's just kind of spreading them out along the southern sector, which is an interesting location. Maybe I honestly think a southern push here for Pressure would be a pretty good call. There's not a whole lot of defenses down south, and those IGs or 76 mils give good enough fire support.
That's true, and you're going to see they're going to start to engage this MG42 very, very quickly. But right now, we are seeing those kind of oh my god moments where they're all just diving outside of their little link-ups here. Oh no, the Schützen to the south. Oh, you poor buggers.
Yeah, he's getting super Schützened.
Yeah, I practically can hear Tchaikovsky right about now. Like, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, we're just seeing... This is such a huge amount of spam. There's Superiors all over the bloody place. He's definitely going to be able to fix up a few bridges.
One would certainly hope so, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Pack 40s are going to... Pack 40 is not going to have a ton of kill potential, but he won't be able to get a couple of these. That's transmission destroyed. That is a weird crit. Like, that does not happen.
Especially on an APC.
No.
Usually it just goes kaboom. But there we go. Great strafing run. This is perfect push here from Presta. And it's all going to be fantastic CQC infantry, so he's going to be able to contest his forest rather well. And now he's just going to rush the IG-33. He's going to rush into the town. I love it. This is definitely exploiting a weak spot in DarkNeutron's line.
Meanwhile, the IG-33 apparently decided that it wasn't sporting enough to shoot the guys that were directly in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
Shooting instead at the different zip code. And I think there's a manipulation
for the
of the
IG-33, if you were to shoot that gun in real life at point-blank range, I think you kind of do a bit of damage to yourself.
Nonsense. Nonsense. But Superiors are taking that town.
Wow.
16-8.
Holy
the entire southern side is folded.
Yeah, that was fast. What a flipping good push here from PrestorJohn.
And this is why you have tube artillery.
Yeah,
this is why you have artillery at all.
Light anti-tank would have helped out a lot. Yeah, it was just a real good, he felt the weakness in DarkNeutron's flank, exploited it to hell, like, by God. I mean, it's even looked like an arrow symbol on the map right now where he exploited through.
The mildly humorous thing, though, too, is that now he's pushed them so deep, but they had no support. So we have Superiors that are rushing into the attack. but it's not going to survive particularly well.
Yeah, I think his best bet is get your superiors down south into that forest, spread them all over, and just partisan tactics the hell out of it.
Oh,
They
absolutely.
can fight for every bloody tree line. I mean, good play from DarkNeutron getting into that town ASAP with the Sturm shoots, and going to be securing that flank at least, so he can just divert his attention to the southern forest.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
God, this is so funny. He's playing as such infantry spammy, and he's the tank corps division. I was not expecting this.
Well, because the northern force is back under German control.
Oh wow, I wouldn't even notice.
Oh, because there's just the absurd amount of firepower down in the south. I can't blame you.
Yeah, that's really gonna screw over PrestorJohn, because he's gonna have a hard time retaking that like central northern forest, especially if he loses that hill position, which is starting to look a bit precarious. He needs to make sure the southern post actually develops, like, and he can secure it, so to speak, because this is looking a bit dicey up north.
I'm not saying this is a gonzo game per se, but the approach to this has been very non-standard, to put it mildly.
Yeah, it's a lot of spam in, good pressure point.
We are seeing right now, as Vedka's over here going down, there's just a line of anti-tank guns between, I would argue, between the Germans and a very, very healthy bleed over on the other direction.
Yeah, just if he can keep us up, and I mean, he has pretty good control of the southern flags for now. I feel like he'll be able to hold it, and even just the light anti-tank guns would be great, because it's really just a lot. I mean, those national ones only have light armor, and the Stugs can get killed by those 45 mils.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, MG42s are being brought in like crazy, which is kind of funny, because when you're looking at the infantry fight, theoretically, Neutron should be up consistently.
Yeah, I think it's just... He just needs to get, a good amount of Sturm shooting into that southern forest and other CQC troops. But even then, superiors are actually pretty good counters against Sturm shooting, because a good alpha charge or good alpha damage throw from the satchel charge can... it doesn't matter if you have assault rifles, if someone's throwing explosives your way.
True, it does get a little bit dicey to kind of put up with that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, we have seen the occasional Cobra already get defanged. Can't say the same thing about all of these artillery positions, and indeed, I think Germans have left just a shade too long to go with that central position. We're going to see superiors being thrown back into the fray. I don't know if the current... No, the Sturmschützen on the wrong side of the mountain there.
It still feels like this could be anyone's game.
It really does, doesn't it?
Yeah, PrestorJohn has a good position right now. He could get a better one. I feel like he's trying to gear up for a crazy push up north, try to take back that forest or the hill. I mean, he's got the IS-2, and he's bringing out some more heavy guns, and even some anti-air, which he desperately needs. But at the same time, DarkNeutron could definitely make an effective push, maybe somewhere far up north.
True. Now, there's going to be a push of these superiors, so that's going to go probably pretty quickly over here for the Rodina. But Flames still not to be outdone. They're going to get their pound of flesh.
And crispy, too.
Indeed.
Yeah, I think the Stug and just the light armor be enough to hold him. So superiors are quite lacking in anti-armor assets.
Yeah, and that's the issue, isn't it? Now they're all falling back. This is when a lot of them get carved down. And down to the south, we are seeing some Sturmschützen, as well as some light support, let's put it gently, are going to be pushing back in to take on superiors and probably even potentially seize back the southern flags as well. So it isn't over. Not by any stretch of the imagination, but right now it does not look good for Soviet interests without heavier armor support.
Yeah, if the superiors fight the Sturmschützen one-on-one, they just get blapped on, essentially. When he, as we saw previously, when he has all his infantry in big blob, superiors together strong, they can fight off the Germans, but one by one they get broken like an arrow shaft.
You know, I was suddenly having this image of just a chimp holding a branch and snapping it in
Yes.
twain. P-Shreks are now being brought in. That's an interesting decision. I don't think it's because he's running low on infantry per se, because we are into Phase C. And I don't think enough of Neutron stuff has fallen to justify that just yet.
Yeah. Yep. And there's just so many just heavy guns in the field. I mean, you've got the ZIS-2s, the 37 mils. Then on the German side, you've got 88s galore, the IGs. There's just a lot of fire support on the field, which hasn't... I mean, but it's just felt like it's all coming down to the infantry plays right now.
Thank God the Nebelwerfer's coming on in.
Oh, yeah.
And our Lord and Savior, the Befehler, P2.
You see, that's really going to be the MVP here. Everyone's expecting Panzer 4s, 5s, 6s, but no one expects the Panzer 2 in 1944. That's where you catch him off guard.
Well, also, no one suspects the fact when you bring in 10 squads of Strokies in the north, too, so check that out. It's absurd. This is just absurd. This is like the Soviet army of the Doctrine for 50 years. It's insane.
He's just literally doing human rave tactics. I was expecting human rave tactics with tank, but I mean, honestly, a Strokey spam, Strokies together strong in this case, might be enough to retake our forest.
11, 12 squads of Strokies.
Oh. Steel Division 2 doesn't have a spam problem, I swear.
No. Spam's just a meat. It's not a problem. That's not a viable strategy. Sorry, 13, 14, 15 squads. The entire card is being called in.
Jesus Christ. That's a company at that point.
Well, look, an IS-2. He does have tanks. Yeah.
God.
Nebelwerfer. He's not unhooked. Unhook the Nebelwerfer, please.
He's going to need that Nebelwerfer very soon.
Oh, but this could be great to a certain extent if... Ooh, IS-2 goes down already. Jeez.
Oh, wow.
It's a 12-12, which is impressive considering how terrible the southern flank had been for such a period of time. And I would argue this southern flank is going now suddenly very poorly. Nebelwerfer is going after the AT guns. He doesn't see the infantry barrage because it's not even artillery anymore. Oh dear God, he's got to re-aim this.
God, that's a lot. He's surrounding the forest.
I keep waiting for it to be re-aimed. He's just aiming it there.
Oh no.
Oh God. Then again, considering how far they are away, you could get some scatter.
Yeah.
That is the most accurate Nebelwerfer strike I think I've seen ever.
Yeah.
Didn't do a whole lot, but...
It was a close miss.
It was a very close miss. Oh no. And some of the Strokies are just standing in their Studebakers.
Oh no. Jump out. Here we go.
Now,
okay. They may have assault rifles, but that's going to be a lot of Mosins.
Oh, it's a lot. Yeah, it certainly is a lot of Mosins. These rockets are being reloaded. The central position now has just a couple of 45 mils, and that's it.
Yeah.
The southern flank has a Superior that's just kind of chilling. A couple of 76-2s moving on in. But this is where the battle is won or lost, right here in this forest.
Yeah, once again, such a pivotal location is forest. And Presto is going to be able to secure it. He's done a decent job up north, but it's a pretty precarious hold of that one Superior. He is going pretty ham on those Sturm shooting. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if DarkNeutron was to push Central Hill right now, that'd be a real crushing blow to PrestorJohn's advances.
You're right. I think at that point he certainly would be crushing the Russian.
Yeah. That's what you need to do.
Exactly.
But do it before winter. Gets bad by that time of year.
Now, the thing I'm finding kind of curious is that the Nashorns are working very well in their role of like support gun more than an actual tank destroyer.
Yeah, I mean the nice thing is they do have that lovely 2-kilometer range, and you can take advantage of it on a map like this with such long range engagements. You just have to be smart and not get close to anything, as we saw the Nigel.
No, we are going to see another barrage going after that forest. It's a little bit far to the north, but we have some danger close happening here as well. So this is going to be very, very negative for those poor pioneers. But I'm calling it. If this crushes the Russian forces in the forest, this might be a very, very negative moment.
That was a decent hit. It's going to be able to get a foothold back into that forest, and a lot of those Strokies have been beaten back. And without the numbers, those Strokies are pretty mediocre infantry.
Yes, they are. And geez, these Cobras are being sent in to take out these MG-42s. And with the 37 mils, this is going to be awful. Those Cobras, it's like Cobras in a mongoose factory.
Yep.
Oof.
Down he goes.
Oof. And the central hillside's going to fall over here in just a couple minutes as well. Yeah, at this point, I feel like the dice have been thrown, and I think they came up snake eyes.
Yeah, I mean, just also, looking at the map here briefly before the game ended, there's more blue on the map than red.
Yes.
There we go. Wow. Okay, I'm not surprised, but wow.
Yeah, but that KD2, like, let's look at the end, because that's when a huge chunk of it happened. Like, chronologically speaking, from minute 23 to the end, that's when it got really, really bad.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes, and looking at the kills, nothing really worthwhile in terms of standouts.
But the losses, you have an IG-33 who's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kills by himself. A BF-109 that's got several kills. Sturmschützen that's killing 5 or 6 squads. Like, yeah, you got some guys who didn't do a whole lot. But still crazy. Still ridiculous. Like, well done, sir.
Yeah, it was... PrestorJohn had really good advances, but DarkNeutron definitely had the firepower to reconsolidate and actually, secure the territory once he managed to get back in there. And, yeah, I mean, 78th Sturm has a lot of good weapons. Not great in armor, but there wasn't a whole lot of armor he had to deal with. It was just blowing up hordes of Superiors and Strokies the entire map. Which is an interesting play from 29th Tank. I was not expecting that.
Neither was I. And I actually did appreciate the usage of the early recon plane.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely think we missed a step by not seeing a more active armored usage, especially once you saw those Nashorns were in play. I get that your first gut instinct is, why would I put infantry into an assault gun? But if they're there, you might as well use them.
Yeah, he needed some sort of armor, but in his deck, I mean, the T-34s are pretty expensive, to be fair. You don't have any, Shermans or cheap T-34s, which honestly would be better in that matchup. You just need something cheap to throw into a forest.
Yep.
But, yeah, he definitely needed a bit more fire support, because the IG-18s, the flat guns, and the Nashorns in the back line would just pound his infantry after they made their push.
Yep. And that was even without off-map call-ins. That was without 2 more Nebelwerfers.
There was no off-map.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah,
it's a weird match.
But regardless, guys, I mean, that I think is going to do it for us today. Crazy match. This was like pure Soviet doctrine.
Yeah.
Crazy artillery, lots of anti-tank guns, hordes of infantry. The only thing we were missing were the tanks, but maybe we'll see that next time.
Yep.
All right, and until that next time, as always, I'm Conor Ulrich.
I'm Rangaroo. Take it easy.